Since the beginning of time, man has looked to nature for answers. But in the oceans, a different world evolved. Under endless blue light, the coral reef explodes in a cacophony of colour. But what we're seeing was designed for others. To find the meaning of these colours, we should first ask, what do they see? When we look at marine animals, we see such a variety of eye shape and design that it seems impossible they see like we do, or even like each other. So how do marine animals see each other? What do they really see? In a quest for answers, we're looking into the animal's eyes to see the marine world from its inhabitants' point of view. Beginning life as part of the zooplankton, most baby fish have a vision sensitive to ultraviolet, which helps them feed on microscopic phytoplankton. Growing into juveniles, they move to nursery grounds of mangroves and seagrass bed, where their vision adapts to the greenish turbid waters. Later, transforming shape and colour to their adult form, they move back to the reef and choose a habitat between the colourful plateau, the blue environment of the wall, or the darkness of caves and overhangs. Yet wherever they choose to live, marine creatures adapt their visual pigments to maximise their vision, depending what they're looking at. Naturally, a fish spending his time on a shallow plateau, looking up towards bright filtered sunlight, will need different visual pigments to a cruising fish looking down, or a fish swimming in dark shadowy caves. So each fish adapts and readapts his vision to the light and colour of his environment. Placement and movement of marine animals' eyes varies greatly, depending on the shape of their head and body, and on the primary purpose of their vision. Some have a flattened body and spend their time flirting with the bottom, like the stingray or the flounder. Their eyes are on top of their head to give them a dome-like field of view. To feed, the stingray uses electrosensors to detect prey hiding under the sand. The primary purpose of her vision is to spot approaching predators. Contrarily, the flounder feeds by ambushing his prey. Relying on camouflage to escape predators, the primary purpose of his vision is to spot prey. The stingray is born with a disc-shaped body and eyes on top of her head, but the flounder starts his life with a normal fish shape. One of his eyes then migrates to the other side of his head, and he starts swimming on his side while his body flattens. Whether their eyes end up on the left or right side of their head depends on species, but they all have an accurate vision that helps them match their background perfectly. Regardless of body shape, bottom-dwelling fish usually have eyes positioned on top of their head and excellent eye mobility. larger piscivores' eyes are at the front of their heads, increasing depth perception and binocular vision for the high-speed hunt. And some even have eyes underneath their heads. The remora has a modified dorsal fin that acts as a sucker, allowing him to take rides on larger animals. His eyes have moved accordingly to provide a better field of view. Our pupil changes size rapidly to adapt to changing light. For many fish, adapting pupil size is slow or impossible. So instead, eye size varies greatly, determining how well a fish can hunt at night, or in which depth or habitat he can operate. In the day, the soldier fish hides in dark crevices. His huge eyes and pupil are vital to sample enough light to see in the dark. But he's unable to adapt to a sudden brightness. The moray eel takes advantage, compensating for her poor eyesight with an uncanny sense of smell. In the shallows, sensitive eyes need protecting from harmful sun rays to avoid bleaching of the photopigment. Some, like sharks and rays, have adapted with a slit pupil that can close 10 times more than our human pupil. Squid have an unusual W-shaped pupil, understood to help with camouflage and sun protection, and which allows them to adapt from bright sunlight to night. And others have developed ingenious ways to deal with the harsh sunlight. The eyes of this balloonfish are equipped with green iridescent layers, positioned to reflect bright light from above, yet allow light in from surrounding objects. These natural mirrored sunglasses allow the puffer to keep a sharp lookout while being protected from the harmful rays. The stingray also has sun protection. During the day, a pigmented flap covers her eye, deflecting harsh rays from above. As night falls, the flap recedes, revealing a large pupil for night vision. Her unique eye design lets her monitor any predator's approach and adapt to any light. Marine animals' eyes are positioned in diverse array and bizarre locations. They not only see a very different world to us, but a very different world to each other. With no neck to move, eye position needs to migrate to give them a large field of view. Eye movement ranges from fixed to extreme, with eyes moving in the same direction, opposite directions, and even independently to each other. One of the most astonishing new scientific discoveries comes from a minuscule fish, the sand lance. During a research dive, Professor Sean Collin noticed a furtive movement in the sand. Only when he looked through a microscope did he realise that it was eyes of the tiniest fish, with some of the most elaborate visual skills on our planet.
These are called sand lances because they dart into the sand, but they're very well camouflaged, and it's only their eyes that are protruding from the sand, and what they're doing by moving is scanning their visual environment for things to eat.
Less than an inch long, this incredible fish has an enormous visual field, extensive binocular vision, and highly mobile eyes.
The eyes are actually moving independently of one another. That is, that the eye on one side is operating, and then there'll be a switch to the other side where the other eye will actually react to prey.
In exclusive, never-seen footage, watch the sand lance strike moving prey systematically with absolute precision.
And you can see already that we're adding prey items from the top, and you can see these amazing animals darting out of the sand to catch these small, fast-moving copepod crustaceans.
They actually do this within 50 to 100 milliseconds.
This part we actually slowed this still footage down to 1 frame per second, and you can see that the animal launches up at high speed, engulfs its prey by opening its mouth, turns very quickly, and then turns again to resume its position within the substrate. It's actually one of the only eyes that are found thus far, of the thousands of fish that have been looked at, that has a cornea and a lens that are both bending the light, and they work together much like a telephoto lens in localizing prey and allowing the animal to strike very accurately. That is a very advanced visual system that's really never been found in any other vertebrate, let alone fish, with the exception of a chameleon. It's that black part of the eye, the pupil, might be a telltale sign for predators to locate it in the sand. What's happened in order to get around that problem is that there's a layer just underneath the cornea called an iridescent layer. Now, if the light catches this iridescent layer at just the right angle, turns that black pupil into a yellow or bronze colour, which is well camouflaged and might be a nice way of avoiding predation.
This tiny fish proves to be a master of predation, a master of camouflage, and can even change the colour of his pupil to change how he looks. This is a new discovery and a completely unique eye.
We continue to be amazed at the retina of this animal. It has a deep invagination or a pit, much like those of humans, and so there are quite a lot of parallels with the visual system of the sand lance and the human, and we can therefore learn a lot about retinal processing of visual images, which might be useful for human vision.
How much there is to learn about the underwater world by understanding the eyes that are looking. Most blennies and gobies have excellent vision. Perched at the opening of a burrow, this goby's acting as lookout. With eyes high on his head, his field of view covers almost 360 degrees. But he's not surveying the area to protect his mate or his young. Rather, he's protecting a shrimp. Fascinatingly, the shrimp with a very poor eyesight recognises the goby's superior vision and shares his burrow in exchange for a sophisticated alarm system. In this unusual couple, the blind shrimp uses her claws as building tools and relies on the goby to ensure her safety. The shrimp family prospers, building an elaborate network of burrows, and their survival is thanks entirely to the goby's watchful eyes. As the eagle ray swoops in for our next meal, danger comes a little too close, and the burrow is the goby's last defense. we naively assume the world looks similar to others. But our visible spectrum of light is limited from violet to red. We see colours by photoreceptors called cones, and we have 3 types of cone, sensitive to 3 different parts of the spectrum. The combination of our 3 photoreceptors enables us to see our colour range. Our trichromatic vision is most sensitive to greens, yellows and oranges, due to a higher coverage from our cones. Most reef creatures are not so good in yellows and reds, but they're way better in blues and greens, vital colours for their daily lives. Marine animals' eyes are not only different to ours, it seems that each creature might have a completely different vision. We're looking for the meaning of all this colour. But how does this seemingly colourful world appear to its inhabitants? To answer this question, we should first ask, what exactly can they see? The octopus is renowned for his ability to match his background colour, brightness, texture and pattern to such an extent that he virtually disappears in plain view. Despite this unusual skill, this Houdini of the reef is what we call colourblind. Having a single type of photoreceptor, he can't discriminate colours and sees only in monochrome. Seen through his eyes, the world looks different. But although he can't see colours as we see them, the octopus's vision extends in the ultraviolet range, and he can also see polarised light, which in fact enables him to see far more than we can. His ability to match colours he can't see is still not truly understood. But the octopus's remarkable eyes are probably responsible for his inquisitiveness and his will to bond with us.
Filming the octopus for a long time creates a special bond between animal and human. The question is, who is really watching who?
Scientists have found that many large predators' eyes are equipped with photoreceptors sensitive to 2 different wavelengths, giving them dichromatic vision. In contrast, many smaller reef fish have photoreceptors sensitive to 3 different wavelengths. So like us, they have trichromatic vision. But their cones cover a different part of the spectrum, often covering part of the ultraviolet range, and letting them see what's invisible to us, and what's invisible to large predators. Underwater, colour vision goes off our chart. And the difference in eye structure is just as extreme. Our eyes have neatly organised rods and cones. Microscopic imaging of fishes' retinas reveals complicated structures and extraordinary patterns, as diverse and eccentric as the animals themselves. Not surprisingly, still little is known about their elaborate roles. From the stomatopod family comes the mantis shrimp, one of the ocean's most ferocious predators. Depending on species, they either spear, stun, or dismember their prey. But what makes the mantis shrimp such a successful hunter is his incredible eyes. Mounted on mobile stalks on top of their head, the mantis shrimp's eyes move and scan independently to each other, giving the stomatopod the ultimate field of view. Each eye is made of 3 different parts, and each part is equipped with a pseudopupil that enables the shrimp to see 3 images of a prey at the same time, giving him trinocular vision and outstanding depth perception for each eye. Comparatively, we need both our eyes together just to achieve binocular vision. And when it comes to colour, he's the champion, with the ability to see 12 different colour channels, 4 of those alone in the ultraviolet range. Also seeing polarised light, the mantis shrimp has a vision superior to any other living creature on Earth. With binocular vision in just 3 colour channels, how can we even imagine the world that he can see? The coral reef is a multi-dimensional, vibrant display, appearing different depending on who's looking. From the colourblind octopus to the hyperspectral vision of the mantis shrimp, marine animals see colours and display colours as eclectic as our languages. This colour explosion could be explained by looking through the fish's eyes. Already it's obvious that with such a diversity in eye design, colours form a language that so far only the fish can speak. The fish's eyes are key to understanding the marine life ecosystem. As man continues to rip the life out of our ocean, little time is left to start listening through the fish's eyes, to see what they have to say. Mirror of the mind, key to the soul, the fish's eyes hold the secrets of an inner world where colour and vision take on new meaning.